everyone. I hope you're well and still having lots of fun. Our story today is about a tax collector. I wonder if you know what taxes are. It's the money that grown-ups have to pay to the government to help pay for things like hospitals and schools and roads. And it was just the same in Jesus' time. But then the tax collector collected the amount of money the government wanted and then put some on top for himself. And some tax collectors got very rich and so were very unpopular. Let's hear this story about the tax collector who met Jesus. Jesus is coming, someone shouted. Jesus is coming to Jericho. And everyone ran to meet him. Well, almost everyone. For there was one man, one wee little man, who did not run to meet Jesus. And his name was Zacchaeus. It's not that Zacchaeus didn't want to meet Jesus. He did. He really did. But not only was Zacchaeus short, he was also afraid of the crowd. Not many people liked him, you see. Partly because he was a tax collector, but mostly because he collected far more taxes than he needed to and kept what was left all for himself. Jesus is here!
Jesus is here!
Jesus is here!
And everyone cheered as he walked through the city gates. Hooray!
Jesus is here in Jericho!
Jesus is here in Jericho!
Well, almost everyone. For Zacchaeus did not feel like cheering at all. He wanted to see Jesus. He really did. But how could he walk out there in front of all those people that he'd cheated? And anyway, what would they do to him if they got hold of him? Then Zacchaeus had an idea. There were trees by the city gate, tall, leafy trees. If he could sneak behind the crowd and climb up into one of those trees, he could see Jesus and not be seen himself. So off he went, out of his house and through the empty streets. And because the crowd was looking to see where Jesus was, he had no trouble slipping behind them and shinning up a tree. "Come and eat at my house," someone called to Jesus. "Come and eat at my house, Jesus." And because it was a great honor to host someone as important as Jesus, everyone shouted at once,
Come and eat at my house!
Jesus!
well, almost everyone. For there was one man, one wee little man, who kept his mouth shut and tried very hard not to rustle the branches.
Thank you very much, you are very kind, but I have already decided where I will eat my dinner. Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, come down. I am eating at your house today.
"Zacchaeus," someone shouted. "Jesus is eating with Zacchaeus? He's the worst man in town. There must be some mistake." And everyone moaned and groaned.
Oh, he's the worst man in town. Oh.
Well, almost everyone. One man, one wee little man, climbed down from the tree as shocked as the rest. Why would someone as good as Jesus want to eat with someone like him? But he was happy too, happier than he'd ever been before. And so, with a smile spreading across his face, Zacchaeus led Jesus to his house.
What are they saying?
Somebody whispered,
What are they doing in there?
and everyone gathered around the taxman's door. That's when Zacchaeus threw open his door with a bang.
Greetings, everyone. I have an announcement to make. I've been talking to my new friend Jesus, and I realised that there are a few things I need to change. I've cheated some of you, I admit that, and I want you to know that I'm sorry. So sorry, in fact, that I will pay you back 4 times more than I stole from you. What's more, I intend to sell half of what I own and give the money to the poor.
The crowd was shocked. The crowd was surprised. Never in their whole lives had they seen anyone change like that. They stood there with their mouths wide open, and no one said a thing. Well, almost nobody.
Don't you see? God has sent me to share his love with everybody, even those who have done some very bad things. That's what I have done. And now Zacchaeus loves God too.
That's when the whole crowd began to cheer. Woo! Hooray! Jesus and Zacchaeus and the whole town of Jericho. Everybody. Hooray! As soon as Zacchaeus realised that God loved him, even though he'd done lots of wrong things, he knew he had to change the way he lived, and he knew he had to try and put things right. So let's just think about that for a moment. Might help to close your eyes and think about whether there are things that you do that hurt or upset other people. Could you be like Zacchaeus and change the way you live or you speak to people so that you're not hurting them and they don't get upset anymore? Now I'm going to say a prayer, and if you would like it to be your prayer, say Amen at the end. Dear God, if there is anything in our lives that needs to change, please help us so we choose what is good, we choose what is right, and we choose what is true. Help us to be kind to those around us. Amen. So this week, let's try and do something nice for the people we live with, especially for someone who annoys us. Good luck. Bye.